Well,
Alice, do you know where we are in the book?
yes, in the book, no, I have my book here. This is
Page
I have
128. 128. If it is this book.
For me, is another page, but I have the line we stopped last time, and the line begins with sometimes.
Yes, exactly.
No.
Yes.
The law
Yes.
can't be followed, no way.
Okay, all right. So, sometimes the law can't be followed, no way, said Pat, not in decency anyways. There's lots of time you can't. When Floyd was loose and going wild, law said we got to give him up, and nobody gave him up. Sometimes a fellow got to sift the law. I'm saying now I got the right to bury my own pa. Anybody got something to say? So you see, the question here is that the law, of course, does not authorize to bury somebody anywhere.
Yes, imagine.
Obviously, but they cannot pay for a normal burial, and so, well, they have to, as he says, sift the law. Yes,
They cannot lose $40.
of course. Sift es pasar por colador, ¿sí? Colar
I
la ley.
remember if that parents, the grandpa, is the father of the father, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay.
The grandpa and grandma, both of them are the pa's father.
Yes, they are a couple.
They are a
Yes.
couple, and that's why when they mention the families, they say the Jodes, no? The Jodes is the family of the father,
yes,
and the Handlers are the family of the mother. When she says, none of us ever said no to somebody who needed food. You remember when she said that they could accept the priest because their families never refused food to anybody. So the preacher said, okay, law changes, but God does go on. You got the right to do what you got to do. But
they are very, very nice people, eh?
Yes, they are adorable. And
yes,
when you go on reading and you see what the things
law
they
changes.
do. So and Uncle John, you remember Uncle John is the father's brother. Yes, so he's also the son of the grandpas.
Yes.
Pattern to Uncle John. It's your right too, John. You got any word against? No word against, said Uncle John. Only it's like
because John, Pa was the eldest one.
Claro. You had Pa and yes, Pa is older than John.
Than John, yes.
But John also has a word, no? He has the possibility.
Yes.
But the other one said, no, okay, it's okay. Then he says, only it's like hiding him in the night. Grandpa's way was it to come out a shooting. So Grandpa has always been, a very open and very an extrovert. So now it was like hiding him, no? Pa said ashamedly, we can't do like Grandpa done. We got to get to California before our money gives out. Sometimes fellows working dig up a man and then they raise hell and figure he been killed. The government's got more interest in a dead man than a live one. They'll go hell scraping trying to find out who he was and how he died. I offer we put a note of writing in a bottle and lay it with Grandpa, telling who he is and how he died and why he's buried here. So, okay, Tom said, okay, this is also very logical. Yes, if somebody finds a dead body or a skeleton, no?
Yes, to left.
Yes, to tell the people
something.
that it wasn't a murder, that it was, normal, a natural death. So, Pa nodded agreement. That's good. Wrote out a nice hand. Be not so lonesome too, knowing his name is there with him, not just an old fellow lonesome underground. Any more stuff to say? Pa turned his head to Ma. You lay him out, I lay him out, said Ma, but who's to get supper? Sari Wilson, I'll get supper. You go right ahead, men and that big girl of yours. So it's important, yes, to see how this couple, you remember the Wilsons, the one,
Yes.
well,
They are very nice people.
yes, and now they start, they become kind of part of the family now, yes, because Grandpa died in their tent.
Ah,
We sure thank you, said Matt. Noah, you get into them cakes and bring out some nice pork. Salt won't be deep in it yet, but it'll be right nice eating. We got a half sack of potatoes, said Sari. Ma said, give me $2 Pa dug in his pocket and gave her the silver. She found the basin, filled it full of water, and went into the tent. It was nearly dark in there. Sari came in and lighted a candle and stuck it upright on a box, and then she went out. For a moment, Ma looked down at the dead old man, and then, in pity, she tore a strip from her own apron and tied up his jaw. She straightened his limbs, folded his hands over his chest. She held his eyelids down and laid a silver piece on each one. She buttoned his shirt and washed his face. You know, this old tradition of putting a coin on each eye, no?
To have money for the tree, they say.
Yes, yes, an old Anglo-Saxon tradition.
Yes.
I was to ask, I'm sorry, is that tradition a Catholic one?
No,
Or
no. That is an Anglo-Saxon tradition. It comes from they thought that the people had to make a trip, no? And so
No,
it was money for the trip.
yes. They don't have any coin, but they want to honor the grandpa with that tradition.
Yes, and she washed him, you know, she prepared him. Sari looked in saying, can I give you any help? Come in, I like to talk to you. That's a good big girl you got, said Sari. She's right in peeling potatoes. What can I do to help? I was gonna wash Grandpa all over, but he got no other clothes to put on. And of course, your kilt spoiled. Can never get the smell of death from a quilt. I seen a dog growl and shake at a mattress my ma died on, and that was 2 years later. We'll rope him in your quilt. I will make it up to you. We got a quilt for you. So you see how Ma is always very practical, as Teresa
Yeah,
said the other
absolutely.
day.
Yes.
And very kind. And so she said, no, they cannot change his clothes because they cannot dress him properly. So they are going to use this quilt, la manta, no? Where he died, and they give the Wilsons another one. You shouldn't talk like that. We are proud to help. I ain't felt so safe in a long time. People needs to help. Now, look at this kind of oxymoron, no? She said that she feels safe now when all these people are there because people need to help. So I say it's like an oxymoron because she's not feeling safe because they are helping her, but because she is helping them. Do you see what I mean or not?
Yes.
So.
Claudia is here. Hello, Claudia.
Claudia, I didn't see you. There you are. Yes. Yes, now I see you. Hello, Claudia. So this idea is an idea that Steinbeck proclaims throughout the book, no? This idea that you are safe when you help, not when somebody helps you.
Yes.
So that's why it's like a contradiction, but it is not, because this is what Sari says. I've never felt so safe in my life. People needs to help. Ma nodded. They do, she said. She looked long into the old whiskery face with its bound jaw and silver eyes shining in the candlelight. He ain't gonna look naturally. We'll rope him up. The old lady took it good. The old lady's grandma, no? Why? She's so old. Maybe she don't even rightly know what happened. Maybe she won't really know for quite a while. Besides, us folks takes a pride holding in. And this is another characteristic of this family, no? They felt proud of being able to hold in, no? De aguantarse, de no llorar. Hold in. You understand the idea, no? Tragárselo. Entonces, they felt that is a good thing. And so they are proud of this holding in. My pa used to say, anybody can break down. It takes a man not to. It's fantastic, isn't it? No?
Yeah.
We always try to hold in. She folded the quilt neatly about Grandpa's legs and around his shoulders. She brought the corner of the quilt over his head like a cowl and pulled it down over his face. Sari handed her half a dozen big safety pins, and she pinned the quilt neatly and tightly about the long package. And at last she stood up. It won't be a bad bearing, she said. We got a preacher to see him in, and his folks is all around. So this is a good bearing, no? With the people you love around you and a preacher. So suddenly she swayed a little and Sari went to her and steadied her. It's sleep, Ma said in a shamed tone. No, I'm all right. We've been so busy getting ready, you see. Come out in the air. Yeah, I'm all done here. So they have to bury the father, and the girl and Sari were preparing the food. And the girl says, Ma, I got to ask. Scared again, Ma asked. Why? You can't get through 9 months without sorrow. So again, this practical mind, yes, okay, 9 months you have some sorrow in the middle. But will it hurt the baby? There used to be a saying, a child born out of sorrow, be happy child. Isn't that so, Miss Wilson? So this mother is fantastic because she invents a proverb.
Yes.
To calm her daughter down. I heard
She
it
has
like,
always the answer.
yes, yes, it's a great mother. Eh? I heard it like that, and I heard the other, born out too much joy, he'll be a doubtful boy. I'm all jumpy inside, said Rose of Sharon. Well, we ain't none of us jumping for fun. You just keep watching the pots. So, on the edge of the ring of firelight, the men had gathered. For tools, they had a shovel and a mattock. Pa marked the ground, 8 feet long and 3 feet wide. The work went on in relays. Pa chopped the earth with the mattock, and then Uncle John shoveled it out. Al chopped and Tom shoveled. Noah chopped and Connie shoveled. And the whole drove down, for the work never diminished in speed. The shovels of dirt flew out of the hole in quick spurts. When Tom was shoulder deep in the rectangular pit, he said, how deep, Pa? Good and deep, a couple feet more. You get that now, Tom, and get the paper wrote.
6
Tom
feet, no? 6
Como?
feet under.
6 feet under, yes. Like the cereal, yes?
Yes.
6 feet under. So Tom boosted himself out of the hole and Noah took his place. Tom went to Ma, where she tended the fire. We got any paper and pen, Ma? Ma shook her head slowly. No, that's one thing we didn't bring. She looked towards Sari, and the little woman walked quickly to her tent. She brought back a Bible and a half pencil. Here, she said, there's a clear page in front. Use that and tear it out. So they are going to use the first sheet of the Bible, that is blank to write what,
The note, yes.
yes, to write the note, yes. Tom sat down in the
We
firelight.
used to write the numbers of the people who birth, no?
Yes, the birth and yes, and
The birth and the
death,
disease
yes.
and
Yes, my mother used to do that in an old Bible.
yeah.
Yes. Well, you know that I have other 3 sisters, no? We are 4. My sisters,
Yes.
my sisters did not baptize their children. And so my mother baptized them in secret, I mean at home, and she wrote the names of that she gave to the children, and she put them inside this Bible, and she only told me. Then when my mother died, they gave me the Bible because my sister said all that is religious goes to you because they are not religious. And so I opened the Bible and I told them, well, look, Ma, baptize your children.
No.
Ay, qué plato. And so my sisters gave each of my nephews and nieces the piece of paper where it said, bautizado tal día con el nombre tal, lo bautizaron mi mamá.
Because a person who is Catholic
Yes,
have the possibility to
yes,
baptize. No?
any baptized person can baptize another.
Exactly.
So, my mother
It is
did.
legal.
Claro. My sisters didn't get angry because my mother was already dead. What can they do?
Yes. Nothing to do.
Nothing to do.
Nothing.
So, I was the only one to know. So here, yes, this is this tradition of keeping papers inside the
This
Bible.
is a great story, no?
Yes, this is the story. So, well, he started to write. He wrote slowly and carefully on the end paper in big clear letters. This here is William James Joad, died of a stroke, old man. His folks buried him because they got no money to pay for funerals.
Oh.
Nobody killed him, just a stroke and he died. He stopped. Ma, listen to this here. He read it slowly to her. Why, that sounds nice, she said. Can't you pick on something from scripture so it'll be religious? Open up and get a saying something out of the scripture. Got to be short, said Tom. I ain't got much room left on the page. Sari said, how about God have mercy on his soul? No, said Tom, sounds too much like he was hung. I'll copy something. He turned the pages and read, mumbling his lips, saying the words under his breath. Here's a good short one, he said. And Lot said unto them, oh, not so, my lord. Don't mean nothing. Don't mean nothing, said Ma. Longs you are going put one down, it might well mean something. Es muy divertido. Ya que pones algo que signifique algo. Sally said, turns to Psalms over further. You can always get something out of Psalms. Tom flipped the pages and looked down the verses. Now, here is one. This here's a nice one, just blowed full of religion. Blessed is he whose transgression is forgiven, whose sin is covered. How's that? That's real nice. Put that one in. Tom wrote it carefully. Man rinsed and wiped a fruit jar, and Tom screwed the lid down tight on it. Maybe the preacher ought to wrote it, he said. No, the preacher was no king, see, no family. So they are going to bury Grandpa with the bottle and the note inside the bottle, yes? Okay, so they carried it to the grave. Pa leaped into the hole and received the bundle in his arms and laid it gently down. Uncle John put out a hand and helped Pa out of the hole. Pa asked, how about Grandma? I'll see, Ma said. She walked to the mattress and looked down at the old woman for a moment. Then she went back to the grave, sleeping, she said. Maybe she'd hold it against me, but I ain't gonna wake her up. She's tired. Pa said, Where's the preacher? We ought to have a prayer.